In 1978, three men created a company that offered innovative organizational storage products for home and office use, and all under a single roof. Until then, you would have been hard-pressed to find people that would have thought of this as a potential market, let alone one that would be successful. Empty boxes? Bins to hold different types of commercial parts? Drawers to store things in?
We actually started with one tiny little 1,600 square foot store in Dallas, Texas in 1978. Word of mouth spread incredibly. It was just the oddest collection of merchandise anybody had ever seen to organize your home, to organize your life. A week into it, we knew we had something.
Currently we have 50 stores, and we'll do this year in revenues about $650 million.
I think we can have 300 stores in the United States. We only have 50, so we better get going.
People think we're much bigger than we are, too. They really do, because I think our brand is so big and is so alive and is so vibrant. They think we have 200-300 stores, when indeed we have just 50. So the opportunity, oh my gosh, that's what's so, I think, inspiring and invigorating for all of our employees. There's so much opportunity. There's so much room for growth, employee growth, brand growth.
Today, the Container Store, with locations across the country and over 10,000 products available to help people organize their lives, whether at home or at work, is a place where people love to shop and employees love to work. So much so, in fact, that as of 2011, for 12 years running, Fortune magazine has ranked them as one of their top 100 companies to work for.
You know, one of the biggest milestones with the company that we reached, that we were so proud of, was being named as the very best company to work for in America by Fortune magazine.
We are very proud that we've been on Fortune's list for 12 consecutive years, so we've been able to really sustain that honor.
You don't get on that list by getting a committee and deciding, okay, well, there's 5 people that are going to work on somehow making this the best company to work for in America. You get there by what you're doing every single day, all across your business.
One of the secrets of the Container Store's success is not just supplying high-quality products at a reasonable price, but by delivering outstanding customer service. And they achieve this, first and foremost, by focusing on their employees, because it all starts with them.
We have very, very little kind of the typical red tape. You can talk to anybody at any time, and again, that goes back to us, I think, being secure with who we are and what we're trying to accomplish.
It's really teamwork, you know, as opposed to just siloed, singular department. It's a company, it's not just a department.
The Container Store staff receives an extraordinary amount of training, far more than the industry average, so they are well equipped to handle all types of questions and are able to provide outstanding consultation and service to their customers.
Our foundation principles, to me, is like the foundation of a house. We live, we breathe them every single day, we practice them every single day, and they guide us in everything we do.
Yeah, there's 7, but one of them is fill the other guy's basket to the brim. Making money then becomes an easy proposition. What we've found is creatively crafting a mutually beneficial relationship with the people you do business with is the most profitable and the most joyful aspect of business. We're not going to beat Walmart in volume, but we can beat them in relationship building. It's the exact opposite of what people grow up thinking about business, that you have to screw around the other guy to get ahead. And so, of course, employees love this philosophy, and it pretty well answers how you handle a million different situations. We reinforce that, we talk about that. This is not just being altruistic and nice. I mean, look at our track record. This stuff actually really works.
And again, let's not forget one very important philosophy that permeates throughout the organization. Employees need to have fun in their job. This is an inherent part of the company's culture, and it's an atmosphere that can be felt simply by walking into one of their stores.
I remember the first time Kip asked me about the culture, and I said, to me, it is so yummy, you just want to eat it up. You want to be a part of it. You just want to ingest it. And I think our culture is yummy.
I think if you're lucky enough to be somebody's employer, if you're in that fortunate position, you have really a big moral obligation to make sure that the people that work for your business look forward to coming to work in the morning. We believe that if you take better care of your employee than anybody else, they'll take better care of the customer than anybody else. And if those 2 guys are ecstatic, ironically enough, your shareholders got to be ecstatic too.
So it's employee first, customer second, shareholder third.
So let's look a little more closely at how companies like the Container Store traditionally have viewed motivation within the workplace. Well, it goes without saying that happy workers lead to happy customers, which in turn lead to successful businesses. For over 100 years, many people have studied the subject of motivation, and have come up with some pretty amazing conclusions about what motivates employees and how it relates to a business's success.
We are a company that really celebrates our employees. We really truly put our employees first. It takes that standard business model and kind of flips it. We have our employees first, and then our customers, and then our shareholders.
It's so much fun. It's a great environment. It's so supportive. It's so nurturing and loving, and it feels like a family.
In 1911, Frederick Taylor became known as the father of scientific management upon the publishing of his book, The Principles of Scientific Management. To improve productivity, Taylor studied the most efficient ways to do things that workers do in their jobs. And through time-motion studies, he found that through better techniques and correctly designed tools, workers could be more efficient. Take a look at the workings of a fast food restaurant or companies like UPS, and you'll quickly see Taylor's theories in place even today.
The first 25% any employee gives is mandatory. If they don't do that, they're going to get fired. But the next 75% of an employee's productivity for any business in the world, I believe, is more or less voluntary. You do more or less of it depending upon how you feel about your boss and your product and your company. I think we're way up in the 90s. And, if you have that type of employee productivity, you're going to do very well.
Another early researcher was Elton Mayo. In 1927, he discovered something rather peculiar when he and colleagues came to the Hawthorne electric plant to find out if certain factors, such as workplace lighting, temperature, or humidity, had an impact on workers' productivity. The strange thing was that no matter what conditions the test group of employees work under, hot, cold, light, dark, humid, or dry, in every case, their productivity increased by 50% over the workers not being tested. What he discovered was what we refer to today as the Hawthorne effect. When workers were given the opportunity to be part of something that they felt was important, were involved in the planning of the experiments, and felt their ideas were respected and meaningful, their productivity increased no matter what their work conditions were.
The huddle it's a very simple idea. It's just what it sounds like. You're just gathering the whole team in the morning and saying, here's what we're working on today, here's what we want to accomplish. And even that simple 5-minute discussion can lead to employees having great ideas about how to improve the business. It can lead to them having a deeper understanding of what we're trying to do, but more importantly, it gives them a connection to each other and an expectation that's set that we're all going to work for these things.
What motivates an employee at work really has to do with what motivates people in general. Psychologist Abraham Maslow recognized this and came up with his now famous Maslow's hierarchy of needs. In Maslow's hierarchy, the lowest level of needs must first be met. Only once those are met, a higher level of need emerges and motivates the person to do something to satisfy it.
In one word, the way to keep people motivated and inspired and happy and enthusiastic is to communicate like crazy.
Everyone who works here can feel comfortable going to either their manager or any number of other people to discuss any problems they have, anything they'd like to do, any opportunities they'd like to see happen for them in terms of growing their career.
That keeps people motivated, inspired, and keeps them here and keeps them wanting to do really good things for the company and for their career.
In the 1960s, another psychologist, Frederick Hertzberg, asked workers in a study to rank various job-related factors in order of importance. The results showed these as the most important motivating factors. Hertzberg found that the factors getting the most votes all related to job content, and factors related to the job environment had little to do with motivating employees. He thus concluded that there were two groups of factors: motivators, those that cause employees to be productive and have satisfaction, and hygiene factors, those that can cause dissatisfaction if missing, but don't necessarily motivate employees.
Talent's the whole ballgame. One great person can do the business productivity of 3 good people.
It sounds very simple. It sounds like you're saying, well, I'm just looking for people who want to work hard, and that's not it. It's, can you find a way to improve whatever it is you're doing every single day and do something better than you did the day before? And can you hold your teammates accountable to that same standard?
If you compare Maslow's and Hertzberg's theories, you'll find that there's a great deal of similarity between the two. In fact, both of their theories went into the development of job enrichment theory, which is a strategy centered around motivating employees through the job itself.
While we don't have any type of formal job rotation program at the Container Store, we do really place great value on our employees being able to do a real wide variety of tasks. For example, in our stores, anyone that gets hired unloads trucks, they sell, they merchandise the store, they design.
You're going to take that knowledge back to your everyday job and apply it in a way that's going to actually make the business better, even if you don't ever do that job specifically in the future.
So far, we've been focusing on employees, but what about managers? Douglas McGregor observed that managers typically fall into one of two categories. Theory X managers typically think people dislike work, must be controlled, want direction, and are motivated by fear and money. Theory Y managers, on the other hand, believe people like work, naturally work towards goals they believe in, accept and sometimes seek responsibility, are highly imaginative and creative, and are more motivated by a variety of rewards. Which type of manager would you prefer to work for?
People came back from World War II and they applied militaristic management techniques to the businesses that started after World War II. Those techniques may work well in a battlefield situation, but they're a terrible way to run a business. And so we're pretty far the opposite of all of that. We're not very hierarchical. We're extremely transparent.
They care about me as a person. They care about my development, my training. They set me up for success. They say, where do you want to be? And then they try everything they can to get me there.
We just do lots of fun things to recognize teams, but also recognize individual contribution and our individual employees.
The trend these days is definitely towards Theory Y management. Additionally, researchers like William Ochi studied successful American and Japanese companies and determined that a hybrid management style, which he called Theory Z, provides the best balance between the organization's needs and the needs of the employees.
If you have that environment and that culture of openness and honesty and security, you work with your manager, your supervisor, or their manager or supervisor if you need to work through an issue or a concern or an opportunity.
Container Store cares about their employees. They genuinely care about each other. I think there's people that doubt our culture, and even new employees will sort of doubt and hesitate and say, are you for real? But once they're here long enough, they know, they can just see how much we love each other and how much we care about each other and how much we want you to do your best and succeed and have a great time.
Over the decades, different generations have entered the workplace, each of them with their own unique generational differences. Companies have realized that what motivates baby boomers is different than what motivates Gen Xers or Gen Yer. Today's new hires are tomorrow's managers and corporate leaders. Each future generation brings a different set of skills and traits to an ever-changing workplace. But one thing will most likely remain the same. Motivation will come from the job itself. It's up to managers to develop a workplace that's as rewarding for employees as possible. And sometimes it's as simple as saying, thanks, I really appreciate what you're doing.